What up, YouTube? It's your boy GU2 back at it again with another video for you. And at the conclusion of Game 6 of the NBA Finals, we have now crowned a new NBA champion who has not won an NBA championship since 1976, with the Milwaukee Bucks being led by Finals MVP Giannis Antetokounmpo, the Greek freak himself. There have been many doubters about Giannis Antetokounmpo's playstyle, including myself and many other content creators and many other just basketball fans alike, on how he can lead this team to success and eventually lead that success into an NBA championship. And he has shown that he was able to capitalize on everything that happened this postseason and turn that into a winning season, the most successful season you can have in the NBA. Giannis was clicking on all cylinders today. He shot 64% from the field with 50 points, 14 boards, 2 assists, but he dropped 50 points, man. It don't matter how many assists he had when you dropping 50 on your opponent's heads. And shot 17 for 19 from the free throw line. 17 for 19 from Giannis Antetokounmpo, who shot 59% up to this point from the free throw line the entire series. That's crazy, man. That's what you call having ice in your veins. Ice in your veins. That's that Mamba mentality we was talking about. That's what you need to do in a game 6 when you need to close out the game and you put your team on your back with your 2 other biggest stars in in Drew Holiday and Chris Middleton struggling, especially after the first quarter, after Chris Middleton basically fueled that whole first quarter for the Bucks. He just hit the off switch for the most part and was not clicking for the rest of the game until he hit that dagger to kind of extend their lead in the fourth quarter. Other than that, they were not playing very well on the offensive end. I will give Drew Holiday credit. He has played very good defense this entire playoff run for the Milwaukee Bucks and in this game as well. And you saw it. You really saw it because Chris Paul, even though he didn't have a bad game overall, I'd say he had a pretty good game, pretty decent game, but he wasn't as effective as he could have been because of how Drew Holiday was playing him, along with the help of Chris Middleton, who is no scrub on the defensive end either. You know, I would say he's a top tier, maybe B+ tier defender on the wing. I may be overrating him a little bit, but he's pretty damn good. And Drew Holiday is borderline like all defensive team out there on the perimeter. So you got to give shouts out to him. This Drew Holiday has also just been a huge reason as to why this playoff run was as successful as it was. And I think also from this NBA Finals, the funniest thing was PJ Tucker playing 37 minutes and scoring 0 points. 37 minutes, 0 points. 0 for 1 from the field. I just think that's funny. I think that's hilarious. Hilarious, man. PTI. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already. Most of y'all that are watching are not subscribed. Subscribe. That being said, I don't want to hear anything about injuries and this being a fake title. None of that. Because if you look at it, the Bucks swept Miami. They had no injuries. In the second round, sure, the favorites to win the title in the Brooklyn Nets got injured. But they were injured this whole season. And you can't be a good team if you're not on the floor. And they took advantage of that, even though they probably struggled a little more than they should. The point is, they still took advantage of it and they won. It doesn't matter that they were a centimeter away from losing. They still won. So that's that. And in when they went to Atlanta, Giannis got injured in the same game as Trae Young did and didn't play for the rest of the series. Atlanta could have capitalized on that and they did not. Then Giannis came back in the finals, and there were no injuries really in the finals. Chris Paul missed, I think, like the first game, and the Suns still won. So what you gonna say about that, man? what you got to say? Giannis played, Chris Paul did not. The Suns still won game 1, and then he came back. They won another game, and they never won a single game after that, and they got basically 4-0'd in the following 4 games. So I don't think this is the, anything to scoff about when you talk about the 2021 NBA champions. They earned this despite all the injuries, because they had injuries themselves too, and they still won with Giannis hyperextending his knee. And I think what contributed to this finals series as well is that I think the youth of the Phoenix Suns definitely got to them, and it showed up in these past 2 games when their backs were against the wall and the tides completely turned on them. And that's what I said in my previous video when I was evaluating what the turn of the tides of this series was going to be, now that it was tied up at 2-2. And I believed whoever won game 5 would win the series, and that's exactly what happened. And I think the young talent has something to do with it, because if you look at this roster, you got Mikal Bridges, DeAndre Ayton, Devin Booker, Cameron Johnson, Cameron Payne, Frank Kaminsky, all of whom got serious minutes in this NBA playoff run in the NBA Finals. None of them have had any playoff experience up to this point, and the only real players with playoff experience was Chris Paul and Jay Crowder. That was it. That was it. There was no one else here has had playoff experience. And I think that definitely showed, especially in the tail end of game 6, where you saw Chris Paul and Jay Crowder taking most of the shots, when Devin Booker should definitely be taking it up. Even though he took the most shots on the team, I feel like he didn't take as many shots in the fourth quarter as you would have liked from your, I guess, you could make the argument he's the Suns' best player. It's definitely a toss-up between what you value more, offensive superstardom or elite playmaking and leadership out of Chris Paul. Whichever one you value more, you can make an argument that Devin Booker is better than Chris Paul, or the other way around. But that's besides the point. I was still expected a little bit more of a higher shot selection, higher IQ shot selection from Devin Booker. But then again, this is also his first NBA playoffs experience. That being said, man, I think the Suns had a great run. I will talk about Chris Paul's legacy in another video, because right now I just want to focus on the Bucks and what they've done, because, man, I really applaud them for it. This was really a great series to watch, and it was really a great, they made for a very entertaining playoff run. I'm gonna be honest with you, that Brooklyn series was probably the best series I watched outside of maybe this NBA Finals, which is pretty good. Honestly, no, I'm gonna go back on that. I think the Brooklyn series was better, but this one definitely, just because of the stakes, was a bit more entertaining. But I just enjoyed the Brooklyn series, watching the Brooklyn series more, especially being a New York kid. I love New York basketball. It is what it is. That's my personal preference. I don't think it's wrong to say that. I don't even think it's wrong to say that, hey, you might have not have enjoyed this series as much as you may have enjoyed a Lakers or Brooklyn series. And I think people who say, oh man, if you were not gonna watch the NBA Finals, like, honestly, I agree with them. If you're ever not gonna watch the NBA Finals just because the Lakers and the Nets aren't in there, I think that's a little shady, to be honest. But to say that, to shame you into saying like, oh yeah, this should be more entertaining than that. I mean, listen, man, some people like to see the star power in the finals. I think that's a thing, and I think that deserves to be recognized. But I think this was still a great series, with the narratives of Giannis maybe not being able to win a title with his play style. Chris Paul is still looking for his first ring, and he will continue to look for that ring. So it'll be interesting to see. I'll make a Chris Paul video next, but let's focus on the Bucks again. Congrats to the Bucks, man. Chris Middleton's got a ring now, man. He's got a ring. Mike Budenholzer, his job is safe. As bad of a coach as I really think he is, hey, he won an NBA championship. His coaching job is definitely gonna be solid for the next few years. There's nothing you can say. He got that ring, man. You can't fire a man that just got you a ring, no matter if your star player carried you to that ring or not. It is what it is, you know. So just shouts out to the Bucks, man. They gave a very interesting playoff run, very entertaining. Giannis put up a legendary performance, one of only 7 players to score 50. I think I already said that, but who cares, man? Just say it again, because Giannis had a ridiculous game. He was just dominating. I was watching it on this computer right over there from my bed, chilling. It was an amazing game, man. I was very entertained. I was very satisfied from this NBA Finals. But hey, that's all I got for y'all. So leave a like, subscribe. That's all. I'm out.